In a few days, they're going to have a white supremacist terrorist rally in D.C. And unfortunately, in this country, as I stated on a t-shirt I have, white supremacists legalized terrorism. Case in point, in this story, you have a brother, and this brother is a immigrant from Cameroon. He's a U.S. citizen. He's going to engage a white supremacist because this one hit his car. And now if someone hits your car, obviously you're going to get out and see what's going on. And I want you to hear the details of this particular story and how this terrorist struck this brother.
I have a scarf that's going to stay on my head for the rest of my life.
Kachazo Pajo of Bethesda says as he passed a cyclist he'd honked at for blocking M Street, the man hit his car with something. He says as he got out and saw damage, the man kept screaming the N-word. Pajo eventually held the man's bike while calling police.
I'm holding his bike because he just damaged my property, so I'm holding his bike like you're not going to leave. And that's why he hits me.
Pajo says 24-year-old suspect Maxim Smith smashed him in the head with a U-lock like this one, requiring 18 stitches and leaving a wound so gruesome we're blurring it. He says Smith yelled the N-word more times than he could count. Smith is now in jail facing a hate crime charge.
And it's painful. It's painful to just, first of all, that some individual could think that they have the right to be offensive and they can feel so comfortable with it.
This is absolutely a warning sign.
Pajo's attorney, Lee Merritt, represented DeAndre Harris, an African-American man beaten during last year's Charlottesville riots. He says D.C. needs to be ready for a planned white nationalist rally this weekend.
I think it's critically important that we get out ahead of that law enforcement knows that they need to clamp down because these groups are notoriously violent.
Pajo was born in Cameroon and became a U.S. citizen several years ago. He says it's sad he has to warn people of color about this.
As an American, I wish we could do better. We could be a better country.
This is why every time I do the videos about the white supremacists, I call them the devil that the Bible speaks of, because that's all they know is savagery. All they know is violence and murderous ways, because they follow the lust of their father, the devil. Now, this brother was required 18 stitches. You heard how he was screaming the N-word over and over and over and over and over again. This is something that's just in the fabric of this country. It is in the foundation. This is why this would never end. I told you before, they pass down hatred for us, specifically down to their children, because that behavior is taught. And before they can even form words, they will teach them the N-word. So that word he's been saying for a long time anyway. Trust me on that. This is why we have to be careful with these white supremacist terrorists running around in society. They are allowed to do the things that they're doing. And, you know, the brother Merritt, he was stating that law enforcement, you know, stepping up patrols and doing what they should do to help the citizens. Listen, law enforcement, it will protect them, okay? You have white nationalists that's on the police force all over America. So this weekend, black people need to be on high alert. Keep your head on the swivel. If you can legally carry, I don't know if you can or not, do so over this weekend. Have you some mace. Don't be alone and see them around you. Like I said, you got that car if you need it. It is a over 2,000-pound weapon. The white supremacists come at you and try to attack you. Defend yourself. Self-defense is always something that I believe in. I don't believe in being an aggressor, but I believe in self-defense and making sure you neutralize that threat when that person comes at you in the area to harm you, because it's everyone's right to self-defense in this country. This brother, he came over here. And, you know, a lot of times you have brothers and sisters that come from the continent and, you know, they don't understand some of the things that we say sometimes about the white supremacists. But a lot of them are learning. I'm getting a lot of comments from the brothers and sisters from the continent, or some of them who have relocated here, giving a crash course in dealing with the white supremacists. The reason why you see the attacks more and more and more, the reason why they're becoming more and more violent is because they see their time is up. You have to understand that. If I sit here and point out the writing on the wall and why they're so nervous, why they hope Trump can make America great again, And Trump cannot do anything for them. Trump can barely do something for himself. He can't even make his own life great again. Every day Trump got something going on. So why would they think that he's going to do something for them? And they're going to see that, but that's not even our issue or our concern as black people. What we need to do is just make sure to protect ourselves. We need to get off of individualism because we got to unify in dealing with the attacks that's coming from the white supremacist terrorists, which are the devil that the Bible speaks of. We have to do so. Individualism is not going to save you. Individualism is going to harm you. And that individualism came from you being around the colonizer too long. We are more of a people who are more unified and move as a unit, and we do better when we move as a unit, not this so-called individualism. And don't bring me the commentary of the colonizer in relation to us, because that's not something I'm not going to even listen to, because they don't even deal with their own community. See, they want to come over here and try to talk to us and tell us what we should be doing, but like I said, we're not your slave. But they got opioids they need to worry about. They have birth rates they need to worry about. I mean, I can go down a list of things they need to worry about outside of us. So, you know, just want to keep that in mind as some of them try to come over and run off at the mouth in the comments section. One more thing I want to say as well. When we use the term white supremacist, that's the term we're using. That's the people we're describing. If you come over here saying white people, whitey, or anything else, you will be blocked immediately. Only use the words that I'm using and I'm describing. If you have a problem me speaking against white supremacists, well, obviously you are a white supremacist yourself or a white supremacist sympathizer. So understand that that's why I'm at with it. I don't tolerate white supremacists very long. I don't believe they should have a voice, at least in conversations that we're having. You can go have it wherever else, but not here. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this particular video, and make sure black people that live in D.C. family, keep your head on a swivel. The white supremacists are already in town.